Stakes on the line when it comes to the Territorial Cup football game, Arizona State and U of A. It's bragging rights a lot of years, state pride, all that. They are tenfold for the Arizona State Sun Devils as they pursue a Big 12 championship in their first year in the conference. Here to talk ASU athletics with us, the AD, Graham Rossini, joins us here on the Arizona Sports Line. Graham, good morning.
Graham.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good to be with you.
Good to have you on the show. Got to ask this first. The heartbeat from Saturday, has it slowed down? Because it took me a while for my heartbeat to slow down from that ending on Saturday, Graham.
No, it's still pumping pretty good, and you roll that right into rivalry week and the Territorial Cup, and I think we're going to be redlining here for the next few days.
All right, we'll ask one last question about this, then we'll turn the page and move on. The Big 12 announcing a $25,000 fine for students rushing the field. Your thoughts about that, and just moving past what was a very, very breathtaking, traumatizing, I don't know what adjective you want to use, ending to that game.
Yeah, very exciting. A lot going on at the end of the game there. We respect, obviously, the Big 12's decision. We had a donor step up to cover that fine, so we're moving forward. But it's a call to action for any Sun Devil who is on the field. You've got a responsibility to your university. Get on sunangels.org, give to our collective, and let's use that for a positive.
Graham Rossini, the athletic director of Arizona State University, our guest here on the Arizona Sports Line. I'm not going to ask any more about the fine, but I do want to ask about the ending. It was chaotic. I know you were right in the middle of it. Take us what your vantage point was with everything going on as you were standing next to Kenny Dillingham and the officials with all the crowd around. I mean, what was going through your mind at that time, Graham?
Yeah, just trying to collect information, make sure that we could control the situation as best as we could. I was actually under the goalpost in the end zone, and so, immediately kind of that exhilaration of a big win and obviously the excitement with everybody coming on the field to celebrate, just trying to get connected with Kenny to give him congratulations initially. Then we found out that, hey, there's still a play under review. We need to be able to manage the crowd. I thought our team did the best job they could have given the situation of, helping everybody understand the situation, getting everybody off the field so we could finish the game and respect the competitive integrity of it. But a lot going on. Just wanted coach to be focusing on, hey, we'll handle what the call was later. Let's get this team ready to go close this thing out and be able to celebrate.
I heard you on the radio last week, and I thought you did a great job describing how you guys academically and as an institution, you're not going to let this coaching staff get away, that you're fully committed to this, and then you back that up before the BYU game with a couple of the coaches involved. Your thoughts on just what we're witnessing here from top down with Sun Devils football?
Yeah, I think everybody's bought in, from Dr. Crow all the way throughout the university. And we've had this kind of redesign of athletics to be in full alignment with ASU. ASU's become a powerhouse in higher education. Dr. Crow's understanding the value of using the sports platform to just connect to all people. And I've said a lot this fall, the benefit of the Big 12 is that it's a national footprint. And so people all over the country, all over the world for that matter, are getting a chance to learn about ASU through what's happening in the sports and the success that we're having in many of our sports right now. And so that's been good. But a lot of what we're able to do now is a credit to our fans. And when you have sellout crowds, and when you have new corporate partners coming on, and when you've had donors stepping up to cover fines or make investments, those are the resources that allow us to hire and retain great coaches, to prepare for the transfer portal, to get ready to really invest in these outcomes that we're starting to see that are possible here at ASU. And we don't want to look back. We want to keep driving forward. There's a lot more to do, but our fans pouring energy and attention into what we're doing is giving us resources that we're immediately reinvesting into the work that we're doing here.
Graham Rossini, the athletic director of Arizona State University, is our guest here on Bickley Marotta Mornings. Mentioned it's Territorial Cup week. It means different things to different people. Kenny Dillingham has talked about what it means to him as somebody who grew up as an ASU fan and now is coaching his alma mater in this game, which is a gigantic game. What does this rivalry mean to you? We very rarely delve into it from an athletic director standpoint, but everybody gets involved. What does this mean to you, Graham?
Yeah, it means everything. And in any of our sports, certainly football, when the moment the schedule comes out, this is the rivalry, this is the matchup that you always circle, and you kind of understand, when are we playing? What's the situation going to be? I grew up in the Southeast, so I was around the Iron Bowl and Alabama-Auburn until I came out to ASU as a freshman and was very familiar with this rivalry, even in the middle of SEC country. And so coming out here and understanding the intensity and the dynamic that goes into this rivalry. Like, I'm not looking forward to going down to Tucson Saturday. I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm excited to go there in support of our Sun Devils, but I obviously try to avoid Tucson as much as I possibly can. So we're excited for it. There's a lot on the line, independent of what this win on Saturday could unlock for the rest of our football season. This game matters. This game matters for year-long bragging rights, the rivalry, the friendships that we have with people that are, affiliated with that university. There's a lot on the line. And so it's emotionally charged. It's going to be intense. We know it's going to be a very competitive game. And independent what either program is playing for, we got to win this game. We want to win this game, and that's always a big focus for all of us here in the athletic department.
From your days as a student in this rivalry, maybe I shouldn't ask this because I don't know what the timetable is, Graham. How did ASU fare in the Territorial Cup while you were a student?
Yeah, we've had a pretty good run, and I've been in the Valley for 25 years now, and my 8 years with our baseball program, and even the 13 years with the D-backs was at as many of these games as I could here in Tempe, and I'd have to go back and count it. I think I'm on the winning side of the ledger. Lately we've had a really good run here. We want to continue that, and just the program is heading in the right direction, and you can't become a Sun Devil without understanding the importance of this rivalry, and so. Again, independent of what's on the line for our ability to keep advancing this year, we want to win this game. And I know Coach has done a great job of making sure the guys in the locker room understand this rivalry. We've got a few former players that are around the team this week and helping them understand the dynamic and the history and how this is bigger than football. This goes into state politics. This goes into decades of decision making in order for ASU to become the university that's become. And so we can't wait. It's going to be exciting.
Well said. What does it mean to have completed an unbeaten season at home, particularly when activating the Valley was something that was very high on Kenny Dillingham's to-do list?
Well, you want to win your home games, and I think that's in any sports setting. If you take care of business at home, when you're in these hostile environments on the road, it gives you that ability to just navigate the season that way. And so we focused a lot all summer. We talked a lot about building a great game day and controlling the controllables and finding ways to get people into our stadium independent of the win or the loss or the nature of what that season could look like. But when people start showing up, and again, as I mentioned earlier, when people are investing in the experience and they want to be here because there's this shared love of ASU, that allows the team to have that environment that helps us in the will to win. And I've used the example a few times early in the season when we've got a minute left on the clock. I think it was the Kansas game, and Coach gives the ball to Sam Levitt, a freshman quarterback, and says, "Hey, kid, go win this game." A minute left on the clock, and we have that electrifying drive down the field, and our team's looking up at a jam-packed student section and a jam-packed Mountain America Stadium. That energy, that atmosphere is what helps the home team kind of get those big plays across the goal line there. And so our fans keep pouring so much energy into the work that we're doing, not only in football, but in all of our sports. And that just means the world where we want to build a great game day. We want to be the place to be on Saturdays in the fall. Coach talked about that last week of we don't want BYU and the atmosphere that we had last weekend to be unique. We want that to become the norm. And that's going to take all of us as Sun Devils all over the state, all over the country for that matter, pouring into the exciting things that are happening right now.
Graham Rossini, the athletic director of Arizona State University, our guest here on the Arizona Sports Line. You mentioned earlier in the conversation about the national footprint of the Big 12, and obviously the move came together very quickly in terms of how things normally move in college athletics. But here we have the football team with a really good chance to play in the conference championship. Your volleyball program got a share at least of the Big 12 conference championship. The men's basketball team, in terms of quality of play, the Big 12 is the premier basketball conference. I would say that things have gone rather smoothly in your first year. From your office, how would you rate this transition to a new conference landscape, Graham?
Well, we've had a lot of people put in a lot of work over the last year plus to kind of get ready for the realignment that was happening all over the country. I do think the Big 12 was the best fit for us for a lot of reasons. And again, that national footprint is case in point. And the fact that we've got 16 institutions across the conference, 90 million fans in these 16 college towns and cities. More importantly, there's 4 schools in Texas. There's a school in Florida. Getting a chance for the Sun Devils to play in those recruiting hotbeds is very important. And the games in those states matter, but even just environmentally for people playing any of our sports in the state of Florida, throughout Texas, seeing the Sun Devils compete at a high level because their schools are getting coverage and people are following that ASU football is in first place and volleyball just won the Big 12 and our golf programs are nationally ranked. That's all helpful. And those states are important to ASU for enrollment. They're important for us to build relationships with corporate partners and donors, et cetera. And so when you've got the ability to be in those states, that's been a massive gain in addition to just the television exposure. We're not on a regional network. We're not behind a paywall. We're on Fox. We're on ESPN. These are obviously the powerhouse networks for sports fans to be able to tune in and watch what we're doing. And so, those are a few of the many benefits, but we've got a dynamic commissioner. He's looking at ways to promote our athletes, to promote our programs on the highest stage of sport. That matters at a moment that we're trying to maintain this elite status in basketball. We're trying to chip away at what the Big Ten and SEC are in college football. We've got 9 teams that are bowl eligible in the Big 12. I don't think our conference is getting enough credit for the quality of football that's happening throughout the Big 12 from top to bottom. And you look at the bottom of the standings, there's teams that were picked top 10 nationally at the start of the football season. And so there's great parity in college sports, but there's been a really good heartbeat, a really good fit for us in the Big 12. And, we want to keep that momentum moving forward.
Last question real quick, Graham. Is politicking still a thing when it comes to the college football expanded playoff? Do you need as a conference? I mean, the assumption should be that the Big 12 gets one of those automatic buys, the champion, I'm saying. But I've heard debates about that, and it confuses me. And secondarily, how do you feel seeing your football program in that conversation?
Well, that's the exciting part is that we're in the conversation. And a lot of people think it might be ahead of schedule. I just go back to we've got the right coach at the right university at the right time. And our coaching staff collectively is leading this group of young men that want to be here. A lot of these kids are transferring in from other institutions. They were let down by false promises or it wasn't the right fit. They've chosen to come to ASU. They're proud to represent us. And these are the things that can happen when nobody's concerned with who gets the credit. You've got a group of people pouring in over a love of ASU, and they want to represent this university. They want to represent this fan base. They're playing so hard for each other. They're bought into their coaching staff, and that's been the coolest thing to see. And we've all seen this in sports. When people come together and you capture that magic in a program or in a locker room, incredible things can happen. And who knows what we're on the cusp of doing, but it's certainly been exciting to feel this momentum grow week by week. And these guys have a will to win. They're bought into each other. They're supported so well by this fan base. And I think the sky's the limit, and we're excited to see what we go ahead and do.
Yeah, I don't know if exciting covers it. Well done to you and your whole staff.
Yep.
And we're really looking forward to seeing what transpires on Saturday. Graham, great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate the call.
Thank you, Graham Rossini, Athletic Director of the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.